So, New York City mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani's plan to have city-run grocery stores and food deserts has already been tried in Kansas City, Missouri, and the results, disastrous. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the communist socialist New York City mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani and his plan to have city-run grocery stores and food deserts. Now, a lot of people on the internet, especially a lot of those in New York City who voted for this guy in the primary, seem to think that this is going to work, but it never works. The way to cure a food desert is to fix the community in which the food desert exists. Throwing money at it, trying to fix it that way, never, ever, 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 ever works. Communism has been tried and it always fails every single time. But for some reason, each new generation thinks they could do it better than the previous who failed miserably. Now, there's a lot of things I wouldn't get into, but first, let's go back a little bit to hear Zohran Mamdani's plan for these city-run grocery stores. Of course, I will link to this video and everything else in the description box if you want to see it and hear it without my commentary. If you're on IG, Facebook, etc., visit a link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Grocery prices are out of control. The cost of eggs and milk has skyrocketed. Some stores are even using dynamic pricing, jacking up the cost over the course of a day depending on what they can get away with. It doesn't need to be this way. I'm Zohran Mamdani, and as mayor, I will create a network of city-owned grocery stores. It's like a public option for produce. We will redirect city funds from corporate supermarkets to city-owned grocery stores, whose mission is lower prices, not price gouging. These stores will operate without a profit motive or having to pay property taxes or rent, and will pass on those savings to you. Grocery price.
Okay, so that's his pitch. Now, what do you guys think? Before we go any further, what do y'all think? Do y'all think it'll work? Do y'all think it won't work? Let's hear from Pocahontas, aka Elizabeth Warren, to get her 2 cents on it, and then we're going to get to a real-world example of this in Kansas City, Missouri. Check it out.
He said, we've got a problem with entire food deserts where people can't get access to grocery stores. Said, I'd like to take a look at whether or not we can have some kind of, like we do on military bases, you have some kind of support from the city government that says we're going to get some food grocery stores in areas that right now are food deserts. And by the way, it's a new and fresh plan for New York City, but it's been tried in other cities around the country and has had some real successes. So what I hear Mamdani saying is, I want to try things to make it work for working families. And you know what? This is how democracy works. A lot of people in New York City said, that sounds good to me. I'd rather try that than any of the other alternatives available to me.
Okay, so that's Pocahontas, aka Elizabeth Warren, talking about Zohran Mamdani's plan to, quote unquote, fix the food deserts. And she says that this has been tried in other parts of the country and there's been some successes. If you guys agree with that, please tell me the specific place, the city, and the name of the actual store in the comments so I can marvel at this just tremendous success. Now, here is a real world example of it. Okay, you got city funding, food desert, all of that. What does what they're talking about look like in real life? Check this out.
Well, yesterday, as a voice for everyone, we amplified the voices of frustrated customers and community leaders over the deteriorating conditions at the Sunfresh grocery store, the one located in the Linwood Shopping Center off Prospect.
Basically nothing. It's like there's nothing on the shelves.
I said before, there was a time this store was on life support. I can tell you today, right now, it's damn near dead.
That grocery store has received financial assistance from the city, but has been unable to keep shelves stocked. This area in the past has often been referred to as a food desert.
Now, to be clear, this is going to be the east side of Kansas City, Missouri.
So tonight, KSHP 41 reporter Alyssa Jackson going in depth with this issue to help find answers and solutions for shoppers.
A Sunfresh Market has been on the corner of Linwood and Prospect since 2018. The store was a part of an East Side revitalization project that put a spark back in the community. I'm going in depth to find out why, after millions of dollars invested, the store is still struggling to remain open. Empty shelves and coolers. A lack of prepared hot and cold food turns shoppers away. Not before they smell a rancid odor coming through the door.
We need answers because at the end of the day, that don't make sense.
The state of the market now on Kansas City's east side is not what the community expected in 2017.
We need this so badly.
When the presence of the market and shopping center looked like a new beginning. The city of Kansas City owns the shopping center. Sunfresh is part of a community improvement district, meaning the city does make money off of a 1% retail sales tax on purchases to help pay for the development. The entire Linwood Shopping Center was a $15 million public-private investment. Last year, the city council approved $750,000 for security, lighting, and infrastructure supported by federal funding.
Let's pause. So the city owns the actual development. They're pumping money into it, and then you see the results. Empty shelves. You can smell the rotten food when you come in there. There may be some plumbing issues that contribute to the actual smell. Why would anybody want to go there? And you are probably in the hood area where people don't have any money to buy the items if they were on the shelves. So you're going to have a lot of shoplifting going on. See, that is the problem, but I'm going to let them finish.
Security, got a problem. No product, you got a problem. And here, maybe, soon, no store. We really got a problem then.
The ownership group of the Sunfresh is actually a nonprofit called Community Builders of Kansas City. The group declined an interview, but sent a statement saying in part that it has worked tirelessly to provide food and necessary services to the urban community. For years, it has been vocal of the challenges it faces. Community Builders' concerns and fears are well documented. Meanwhile, 7 years after opening its doors, the store is already in need of another spark to stay. So what is the city doing about it? The city manager's office said staff is working with the property manager and other partners to address concerns. There have been tests to investigate any plumbing issues and smells. The city also wants to change how it spends some of the federal dollars that were already set aside for the shopping center. That's going through an approval process.
All right, there we go. So again, this is going to be the east side of Kansas City, Missouri. There's a lot I want to say, but like I said from the beginning, you can't solve this issue. You can't fix a food desert by just throwing money at it. That's not the way it works, because you got to have people who are able to come to the store and buy the items. And if that's not happening, then you're going to see exactly what's going on there. It's going to be more and more and more and more money wasted. At that point, you might as well just give out more welfare, because people are just going to be stealing, and the food that doesn't get bought is going to rot. You're just losing money. It'd make more sense to give them an EBT card with a little bit more money on it if you're going to do something like that. If your purpose is going into it knowing that you are going to lose money, it makes no sense. Look, people who really want to buy good food have no issue with a food desert in the United States. It's Kansas City. I'm sure there's another place that's not that far away, like a Walmart or a Target or a regular grocery store they could go to, rather than having to go right here to this spot. This spot is not viable. And it'll be the same thing under Mamdani. They say that there's already city funded or something with the city in New York City. Now, the question is, where are these particular stores? Are they in real bad neighborhoods, low income neighborhoods, or are they in good neighborhoods where people have money to be able to buy things, where people don't steal all the stuff in there? What's really going on? The reason why you have food deserts is because of the community in which it exists. It's like trying to build a water park in a Sahara desert. It's not really a feasible task, because you're in the desert. You're not in the area that can sustain the water. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your opinion about food deserts? This situation in Kansas City, also what is proposed in New York City under potentially, God forbid, Mamdani as a mayor. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. Listen, you got to just improve your community. If people are poor, they don't have any money, and or they might want to steal sometimes, because that's just kind of what happens in some of these places. There's nothing you can do about that. You got to fix that problem first before you try to just put a grocery store is going to have any kind of success. Okay. And if you know it's going to lose money, then what's the point in having it? Just give them money to be able to go buy what they want, which they already have. It's called food stamps. So I would say, you know what, if it was me and I wanted to kind of reform welfare and whatnot in a place, I'll just give them food boxes like back in the day. You get a food box, and in your food box, you'd have some good food. Or matter of fact, you could go to the food bank and you could just scan the card and pick up a box of food. That's what I would do. If you're like super low income, disabled, elderly, something like that, that'd make more sense to me. Or how about this? Invest more into Meals on Wheels for the elderly. You're 85 years old, can't leave your house, and you want something that's close by. Okay, we're going to come right to you and give you what you need to sustain yourself, rather than going to this food desert store that has no products, and the products that are on the shelves are going to be rotten. It just makes no sense. Financially, it's just a silly thing to do. There's better ways to solve an issue with food insecurity if there is one. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.